Hey guys, how's it going? Black Boy here. So for today's video, I've been thinking about this question. So I decided to make a video and then answer this question. What is the question? Well, right here, this is my wireless system that I use. I got this thing back in 2011, which is 13 years. So this thing is pretty old. Now, if you don't realize what the question is, it's very simple. Is this 13-old piece of equipment still worth using today in 2024? Well, sit back, relax, and let's figure this out together. Alright guys, so like I said, today we are talking about my wireless guitar bass system. Now, why am I talking about this wireless guitar system? Well, frankly, I'm just wondering if I should upgrade my wireless guitar system. So, what system do I have? Well, I got the box right here. This is the Shure wireless guitar system. Now, I got this bad boy back in 2011 when I was in heavy use with one of my old deathcore bands and Came Back Brutal. Now, this system I got for just about 80 bucks, I believe. And this worked amazingly back in the day. Now, this all came with three things. Came with the wireless pack, which is right here. Came with the cord that plugs into your instrument, into the pack, and it came with the wireless receiver itself. Now this system is very simple and very easy to set up. Starting with the receiver that I have right here in my hand, it's very straightforward, very simple. It's going from left to right. You have your power in, a little loop so that you can have your power cord there, and then you have a balance out and an unbalance out. The balance out uses just a regular microphone cable, and then the unbalance out uses a 3/4 connector. Now, moving on to the body pack, which is right here. Very lightweight, very simple. This is battery operated, of course, and it's operated by one 9-volt battery. You just squeeze the edges here and out, and opens up the battery cavity. With the 9-volt battery, you got your 10 dB 0 and mic switch and your channel switch. On the back, you have a little clip, so you can clip it onto either your belt, your pocket, or even your strap. At the top, you have the spot where the cord goes into it, and one of the good things about this is that there is a little notch at the very top, so that way you know which way to plug your cord in. Boom. Then you have your power on and mute button. Now, that's all very simple, very easy. You just plug it in, turn it on, battery in the body pack, plug it in, and away you go. Now, what I have here, this is the PG channel guide. So if you're running multiple wireless systems, this shows you how to set up the right frequency for this unit. Now, that is a big thing. Frequency. All right, so if we go to the box, first thing we have to look is how it says performance gear. So we know what system, or what category I should say, this falls into. So like I said, this system is very simple, very easy. Now, looking at the box, we can see what the box tells us all about the system. So once again, starting with the receiver, with the wireless receiver, this is the PG4 wireless receiver. And it has a built-in internal antenna. It's up to 10 selectable channels, which we'll talk about later. It's compatible with 8 different systems. Multi-band varies from country to country. And it's got a quarter and XLR out, as I talked about earlier. Now the instrument cable, or the WA302 instrument cable, is used with guitar, bass, or other electronical instruments. And the cord is just simple, 2 feet or 0.75 meters. And it has a quarter plug with a 4-pin mini connector. And rounding this off with the body pack. The body pack is the PG1 body pack transmitter. Now that has a power mute and battery status LED, power and mute switch. It's 9 volt. It's 9 volt battery powered. Includes with a 9 volt, which provides up to 8 hours of battery life. We'll talk about that later too. And the operating range is up to 250 feet. So that's cool. Looking at the bottom of the box, okay, it says Shure wireless microphone system, and it's got performance gear. It's got the PGX, the SLX, the ULX, and the UHFR. So which one do we have here? Well, simply, we just look at the box, and the box says performance gear. So we look under the performance gear, and it says bandwidth is 12 megahertz. Hey guys, Black Boy here in the future. As I'm doing some video editing, I realized that this whole 12 megahertz bandwidth frequency stuff probably needs a little bit more diving into, so that's what I'm quickly going to do right here. So long story short, simplified version, 12 megahertz bandwidths means there are 12 different frequencies that this wireless system uses. Now, this wireless system uses radio waves, as do all wireless systems, uses radio waves to transmit their signal. And with the 12 megahertz, or 12 different frequencies, means there are 12 different paths or waves, frequency waves, that this can use to transmit its signal. Now, once again, very, very basic view of this, very basic definition. If I'm here using, let's just say, frequency 6 to send my signal, and someone else has this unit and they're using, oh, I don't know, let's say frequency 10. Okay, they're pretty close together, but at the same time, different frequencies. So we won't necessarily get, our signals won't necessarily bounce into each other and create dropout. So the more bandwidth, the more frequencies, the more channels this thing has to use. And it's a lot easier to find a free open channel. Something like I said, 6 to 10, very close, might mess with your frequencies. But if you had something like, let's say, 48 frequencies, so 48 megahertz, and you were on, 6 and they were on 36, boom, that's a big wide space, so that way there is less of a chance for your signals to bounce off of each other and cause dropout. And you can see this is why it costs more money to have more frequencies, because this isn't just with guitars and instruments, but it also does with in-ears and actually microphones. So like I said, quick, short, in-depth. So back to the video. Compatible systems, up to 8 compatible systems, which is what we talked about earlier. Auto setup feature? No auto setup feature. Comband ratio, it says varies. It's got an internal antenna with a quarter wave. Network, no. And rack hardware, optional. So what does all that mean? Well, starting with the rack hardware, just means It's possible to rack mount this. Unfortunately, mine did not come with a rack mount. Network, is this, even though it's a wireless, is this Bluetooth? Can you hook it up to a network? You cannot. Like we said, it's compatible up to eight systems. Setup feature, auto setup feature, no. So that means you can't just turn this on and it'll automatically link. You have to set it up yourself, which honestly is not that hard, and I will show you how to do that here momentarily. So, and like I said, bandwidth is 12 megahertz. So, how do you set this up so that you can connect it? Well, it's very simple. All right, so let's talk about how you set this thing up. It's very simple. The first thing you do is you plug in the power on the receiver. And when that happens, you'll see a light pop on the front where it says channel. And it'll have some number. That is the number that this is operating on. Like we said, it's up to 10 channels. So 1 through 10, or I think it's 0 through 9. Once you got that plugged in, you move over to your receiver. And first thing you do is you plug in the instrument cable. Boom. Squeeze the sides so that way you can open up the battery cavity and you put the battery in. Now, before you close up the body pack battery bay, what you want to do is look at the top and push the power/mute button. This should turn on the battery pack. Now, you will see just above the battery, just above the battery pack, you will see that you have a little screen with a number that will pop up. That number indicates the channel that you are on. What you want is you want the channel number on the receiver and the channel number on the body pack to read the same. So if you have the receiver on channel 1 and the battery pack on a different channel, it's very simple. In order to change the channels, you just hold the channel button and then you just click until you get the desired number and then wait until it to stop flashing. Once it stops flashing, boom, you are on your desired channel. And that works for either the receiver or the body pack. Now, when the body pack and the receiver are linked up, on the receiver, you will see a green light over the words ready, which means it is receiving the signal from the body pack. At this point in time, there's one more thing that you can do before closing up the body pack. If you are using this as a microphone, there's a little switch over here that has 0 in the middle, mic on the right, and minus 10 dB on the left. You can move this to wherever you are, to whatever you want. If you want it on, if you're using this for a microphone and you want it on the mic setting, you can switch it over to mic. If you don't want anything, you just leave it in the middle. And if you want negative 10 dB, you slide it all the way over to negative 10 dB. Now, all that this switch does is it lets the signal. Now, all what this switch does is it just determines on how hot the signal is from the body pack to the receiver. Just how much output the signal is giving. Very simple, just like anything else where, if you feel like the signal is too hot and you want to reduce the signal a little bit, boom, that's what this is. All right, so that's the setup. Very simple, very easy, and it's ready to go. Now, like I said, I bought this system back in 2011 when I was using it heavily with my band, and I absolutely loved it. It was working great, and it was just simple enough and easy enough to use when back in the day. Not to mention, I think I was the only one who had a wireless system in most of the shows that we played, and definitely in my band. So I didn't have to worry all that much about channels and things like that. But with this thing being, what is it, 2014 now? So that is 13 years. With this thing being 13 years old, how does it measure up? How does it stand up today than back in the day? Well, before we go on, here is a little demonstration of my wireless system. So, with the affected range that you saw, and the real question is, do I need to upgrade this system or am I okay with this? Well, as of right now, I'm going to say I do not need to upgrade this system. This is a great system, but as of right now, I'm not doing a whole lot of plane shows. I'm not doing a whole lot of touring. I don't really need to upgrade my system right now because I'm not doing a whole lot. Now, in the future, if I end up playing a lot of shows, and if I end up for some reason going on tour, I probably will upgrade this system to something newer. It's not really so much of a need for me right now. This is a great system. And like always, that is what this video is all about. Is a 13-year-old wireless system still worth it today? And the answer is yeah. This 13-year-old system works. There is no reason for me to get a new one. I mean, especially for someone who is just doing it at home, practicing, might be in a band playing a few local shows. You don't need anything expensive. You don't need anything fancy. This old 13-year-old system, yeah, I might have to push some buttons here. Yeah, there's no auto setup feature. Yeah, it may need a noise gate here and there, but it gets the job done and it's not that bad. Plus, not to mention, like I said, I got this for 80 bucks. You can probably get this exact system for probably way cheaper. Of course, there are newer systems of this, newer versions of this. And let me see. And yeah, let me see how much they're going for really quickly. All right, so after doing some research, the most compatible thing to this on the Shure website is about $500. So yeah, it's quite a bit of a jump. Online, you can find this set going for anywhere between $80 and $180. So yeah, wireless nowadays is pretty expensive because a lot of people are running it, which is another reason why I don't need to upgrade this 13-year-old system. It works, and it works great. But I mean, and that's what I said, like, it works great for what I am doing. I'm not doing a whole lot, just practicing here, jamming with my band during band practice, and nothing really heavy. It works, it gets the job done. Well, guys, that's all the time we have for today. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you guys learned something. 13-year-old wireless system still works today, still highly recommended. Alright guys, until next time, I'm Black Boy, and remember, keep practicing. Well guys, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you guys liked this video. If you guys have any comments or suggestions, jot them down in the comment section below. I'll throw up some more videos that I think you guys might like. One that's my last video, and just another video. Also, feel free to subscribe. I do put out new content every other Tuesday, or at least I try to in these crazy times. Also, go ahead and like this video. That helps me out. And, go ahead, share this video if you think it might help someone else out. Once again, guys, thanks for all you do. I'm Black Boy in the band, and just remember, keep practicing.